I'm really confused by the perception of Kyrie Irving versus how it compares to the facts. Because the facts are, for the last 5 years, he has not been an impact guy in the playoffs at all. People are judging him now based on like the Twitter clips and the YouTube clips and some of the highlights versus what he was. People seem to think he's a superstar.
Really quick, before I begin, if you guys can smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, this seriously makes a huge difference to my videos and lets YouTube know to recommend this video to a brand new audience. So thank you so much for doing that, and let's begin.
I'm really confused by the perception of Kyrie Irving versus how it compares to the facts. Because the facts are, for the last 5 years, he has not been an impact guy in the playoffs at all. The last time he was truly an impact guy in the playoffs was the 2017 playoffs, which he was awesome. Then he has not been able to stay on the floor, even dating back to Duke. I mean, really like the 15, 16, 17 range, and he got hurt in the 15 playoffs, but 16 and 17, I guess, are the only two times we've seen him healthy, durable, and productive on a good team. We haven't seen it in 5 years. That nobody seems to care about this. He's 30 years old now. He is who he is.
Wait, so you're telling me the only time we've seen Kyrie Irving productive is when he's played arguably the greatest player of all time? Think about it. Like, he's been he's the number 2 on a championship team. But it's not like you're and no insult to like, say like a Dwayne Wade or a Dirk who were the number 1 on championship teams. No insult to those guys, but he wasn't the number 2 to one of those guys. He was the number 2 to arguably the greatest player of all time. Since then, he's done nothing in the postseason. And like, I know that Tatum made some comments about superstar, and he's going back and forth with Taylor Brooks during that Bleacher Report interview. And they're debating whether Damian Lillard is one. Lillard, to me, is the better player. And, you know, part of its leadership, part of its durability, and the other stuff, I'll take my chances, even if Kyrie is slightly more skilled. And it's not about one-on-one. Of course, like Kyrie, it's about 5-on-5. I've had this discussion in the past before when it comes to like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and like even Allen Iverson might be able to beat Magic or Bird one-on-one. Kobe Bryant probably beats Magic or Bird one-on-one, but who's the better NBA player? It's Magic and Bird because they make their teammates better. They fit into a team concept. Kyrie Irving doesn't do that.
You look at his since the 2017 finals, he's played in 22 playoff games over the next 5 seasons. And he's 22, 5-5 are his stats, right? People seem to think he's a superstar. Look, he made one of the biggest shots in the history of the finals in 2016 in a game that was a rock fight. Nobody was making anything. And then he makes this 3. He was great. 2017, that Cavs team was incredible offensively. But it was 5 years ago. It was 2017. People are judging him now based on like the Twitter clips and the YouTube clips and some of the highlights versus what he was, who just has not proven he's a reliable regular season guy or the same kind of, elite playoff performer. The Nets right now have the 3rd best odds on FanDuel to win the title, which I honestly don't understand it. Because think of all the variables. You have the best player on the team openly tried to get the coach and GM fired. Whether that was some sort of tactical move to get traded, I don't know. But that was the thing that happened, that he requested the dismissal of his coach and GM. So you have that. You have Kyrie, who is basically a 50 to 60 game a year player. And then in the playoffs is pretty one-sided and not a defensive force at all. You have Simmons. I have no idea what to expect from him. We have no idea how he's going to respond to pressure. You have Curry coming off ankle surgery. You have Joe Harris coming off an entire missed season. And then a bunch of young guys who are improving, and the media microscope of just every move, quote, everything is going to be dissected. And somebody like Kyrie, he has something every day. He can't help himself. So I think it's going to be a soap opera and a mess. And if you could tell me this is actually going to be great or this is going to be an absolute disaster, I would go absolute disaster.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports 360. That was Bill Simmons questioning, is Kyrie Irving still an NBA superstar? Look, some people might be thinking Bill Simmons has got it in for Kyrie, and that might be the case, especially how it all ended in Boston before Kyrie joined the Nets. And in Bill Simmons' recent trade value list, posted on theringer.com, Kyrie Irving didn't even make the top 64 players in trade value. And just a heads up, who was number 64 on that list? That was Draymond Green. Hey, I'm a big fan of Draymond, but some people would think Kyrie holds more value in the NBA than Draymond. But ever since winning the 2016 NBA championship with Cleveland, Kyrie really hasn't had the best outcomes in the postseason. And that's what Bill Simmons is pointing out. Kyrie Irving has not showed up when it's mattered most in the playoffs. It's true, Kyrie is one of the most enjoyable players to watch when healthy. But during the playoffs, he's failed to bring that flair to the table. Even in the 2022 playoffs, Irving was 100% healthy, but failed to help the Nets get past the first round of the postseason. In fact, the duo of Kyrie and KD was unable to win a single game against the Boston Celtics in the first round. A quick Kyrie stat check. His regular season scoring went down from 27.4 points a game in only 29 games. We know the reason why. In the playoffs, it went down to 21.3 points a game. So Simmons might be onto something. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Bill Simmons that Kyrie isn't a superstar anymore? Or you think that Bill doesn't know what he's talking about and he's still hurt from the Celtics debacle back when Kyrie was on board? Leave a comment down below. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Alright guys, that'll wrap up today's video. If you like this type of video, please hit the like button. That really helps this video out. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.